Straight to breaking news out of the UK. Andrew Mountbatten-Windsor, formerly known as Prince Andrew, has reportedly been arrested on suspicion of misconduct in public office.
So it is official, folks. Former royalty member Prince Andrew, his new name Mountbatten or whatever, because, you know, he got stripped of his titles by his brother, King Charles, not that long ago, has been arrested. I'm going to give you all the details on what's going on, what's happening, as well as I came across this exclusive undercover video of John Bryan, a former crisis advisor to Prince Andrew, and he's even the stepfather to Andrew's children, who was caught on hidden camera saying some of the most outlandish, holy macadamia nut things you'll ever hear. He didn't know he was being recorded. So I'm going to play that for you. I've also got some clips of the infamous BBC interview, as well as so much more to share with you, as well as one of the most prominent figures in the UK, one of the most prominent broadcasters, saying that this could be a bigger threat to the future of the monarchy than we've ever seen before. I'm going to play for you that clip as well. But first, let's get into the details of what exactly happened. So, disgraced ex-Prince Andrew was arrested today on suspicion, says this is the actual charge, misconduct in public office for allegedly forwarding confidential trade documents to pal Jeffrey Epstein. At least 6 unmarked police cars and around 8 plainclothes officers swooped onto the King's brother's Sandringham estate in eastern England early today. So this is his, this is crazy too. I forgot to mention this. It's his 66th birthday. That's a nice happy birthday for you, Andrew. Not that you deserve anything but a cold, dark dungeon for the rest of your days, but it was his 66th birthday. Andrew, who is still 8th in line for the throne, faces maximum sentence of life in prison if convicted. I went over this photograph that came in the recent tranche of Epstein files and emails that was released by the DOJ not that long ago. New photos. This is a very, very harrowing photo of Andrew stooped over a young female looking up at the camera, who the female looks to be out cold. I don't know. It's redacted, but really, really scary stuff. Here's an image of British police at the Sandringham estate on Thursday today. One officer was seen carrying a police-issued laptop. That's interesting. I wonder what they're going to find on that after a... How would you like to have... Forget Wiener's laptop. Well, we want that too. But how would you like to have Prince Andrew's laptop? Holy mackerel. Can you imagine the post-traumatic syndrome, PTSD that you would get, stress syndrome that you would get from looking at that thing? They arrived at 8 a.m. with cars leaving around 30 minutes later. Police also searched a separate property in Berkshire. That was, I guess, his former home, without directly identifying the King's brother. That's what happened. It was really interesting. He remains in custody, Thames Valley Police said. Andrew was reported to the Thames Valley Police over alleged misconduct in public office following complaints that documents in the Epstein files allegedly showed he'd shared trade documents with Epstein. Here's what King Charles III said. He says he expresses his deep concern at the arrest while vowing his, quote, full and wholehearted support, end quote, for investigators. This is really interesting right here that he said this. He said, let me state clearly, the law must take its course. Wow. The king said, with heir to the throne, Prince William and wife and Kate Middleton saying they supported the statement. Holy macadamia nut. The royal family was not told in advance that Andrew would be arrested, as reported by BBC. The arrest just came a few hours ago, and Keir, radical leftist Starmer said nobody's above the law. Who cares about that? I think it's a matter for the police, he told the BBC. It's very important principle for our country, blah, blah, blah. The thing that I think is really interesting is a total of 87 flights linked to Epstein arrived at or departed from UK airports from the early 1990s to 2018. I'm going to share a clip of that BBC interview where Prince Andrew vehemently denied any wrongdoing, although he paid the woman you see on the screen right there in that picture, Virginia Giuffre, millions of pounds in a civil settlement. So why would you pay millions of pounds in a civil settlement if you're innocent? And then Guthrie died by self-unalivement last year, but her siblings and their spouses celebrated the news of Andrew's arrest. They said, at last, this is interesting. They said, at last, today our broken hearts have been lifted at the news that no one is above the law, not even royalty. On behalf of our sister, Virginia Roberts Giuffre, we extend our gratitude to the UK's Thames Valley Police for their investigation and the arrest of Andrew Mountbatten-Windsor, formerly known as Prince Andrew. He was never a prince. For survivors everywhere, Virginia did this for you. Here's a quick clip that's going viral right now of President Trump back in 2015 calling out Prince Andrew. I thought this was really interesting. I just want to share you. February 27th, 2015, literally 10 years to the day almost. Watch this.
You raised the question of Jeffrey Epstein in your remarks about in the Q&A.
Well, I think he's got a problem. I mean,
what do you think the problem will be?
I don't know, but that island was really a cesspool. There's no question about it. Just ask Prince Andrew. He'll tell you about it.
Now, remember, President Trump, I mean, this Epstein file, remember the Democrats were crying, Epstein, Epstein, Epstein. It totally backfired on them because Trump not only is completely exonerated by the release of all 3.5 million files, documents, emails, videos, photos, etc. And I did an entire video on this. I have an entire Epstein playlist, by the way. If you're just kind of joining, you're like, Nez, what in the world is going on? I've got a bingeable Netflix style series. I'll leave a link to the playlist in the pinned comment as well as the description and show notes down below. You got to check it out. But I did a whole video on this where actually it turned out that Trump was one of the first people to blow the whistle on Epstein. So that clip just further confirms it. I think it's so interesting. Here's a clip of that BBC, the infamous BBC interview where Prince Andrew claimed he, quote, couldn't sweat, end quote, due to Falklands adrenaline. Yet, there's a lot of photos that prove he sweats like anyone else. What in the world? Oh my goodness, check this out.
So you're absolutely sure that you're at home on the 10th of March.
Yeah.
She was very specific about that night. She described dancing with you and you profusely sweating, and that she went on to have bath, possibly.
There's a slight problem with the sweating because I have a peculiar medical condition, which is that I don't sweat, or I didn't sweat at the time, and that was yes, I didn't sweat at the time because I had suffered what I would describe as an overdose of adrenaline in the Falklands War when I was shot at. And I simply, it was almost impossible for me to sweat. And it's only because I have done a number of things in the recent past that I'm starting to be able to do that again. So
that, ladies and gentlemen, is what we call an LAD, a lion-ass degenerate. And my wife has got the sharpest radar and antenna of all time. And when that interview first came out, I'll never forget it. My wife was watching it and said, just blurted it out. And she's a very kind of, introspective, quiet. She's not like that. And she just blurted out BS. And so, wow, after everything that's come out now, this guy was a lion-ass degenerate. I want to play for you now what Piers Morgan had to say about this. Some pretty stark words. Obviously, he's from the UK. He's British, and he had a lot to say about this. But before I do, I just have to tell you, speaking of liars, speaking of fraud, there's a lot of that going on when it comes to Medicare. It is so difficult to understand what is going on. I know so many people who are spending exorbitantly more than they need to, which is why I partnered with Chapter. This is an independent, unbiased organization. They're not salesmen. They will help you. It's completely free. There's no strings attached. Chapter has helped scores of my listeners and viewers. One viewer said, this was the greatest Medicare call I've ever been on. There's no BS, just pure helpful information. Thank you, Professor Nez. Another viewer said, Professor Nez, I called Chapter and I'm now saving over $1,000 a year on my Medicare. Thank you so much for the share. So you've got nothing to lose by calling these guys. Call this number right now, 656-218-0931, and get clarity. You can also go to askchapter.org/Nez to their website. I'll leave the link and the number in the pinned comment, as well as the show notes and description. Again, call 656-218-0931 and start saving right now. Okay, check out these pretty heated, harsh words for his country, the UK. Piers Morgan, what he said to Fox today. Watch.
He had Virginia Giuffre because Epstein reveals that in some correspondence. So all the statements that Andrew made in that interview have now been proven to be lies. And I think that he spun the same lies to his mother. But King Charles has seen that these were lies, realizes that Andrew was lying, realized the severity of this scandal and the potential danger to the monarchy itself. You know, Ainsley and I, we've done a lot of stuff together in the UK, of big royal events, from coronations to funerals in the last few years. And previously, we will have all covered things like the death of Princess Diana. These are huge seismic moments in the royal family's history. I have never seen a bigger threat to the future of the monarchy than what is unfurling right now.
So just in case you missed what he said, quote, "I have never seen a bigger threat." And he said he covered many, many other events. He covered, Princess Diana, obviously, her sad passing. And he says again, I quote, "I have never seen a bigger threat to the future of the monarchy than what is unfurling right now." I would love to get your comments on this, especially because we have a great contingent of listeners and viewers from the UK. Do you agree with Piers Morgan? Anybody, let me know in the comments, yes or no. I'd love to hear from you. I want to go back to this clip, which is kind of eerily ties to Nancy Guthrie case, which is on day 19 now, where Virginia Giuffre claims she has just 4 days to live after getting smashed into by a bus. This is the woman, again, who really blew the whistle on the whole thing years ago. I just want to revisit this clip real quick.
That night, Prince Andrew came to her house in London, and we went out to Club Tramp. Prince Andrew got me alcohol. It was in the VIP section. I'm pretty sure it was vodka. Prince Andrew was like, "Let's dance together," and I was like, "Okay," and we leave Club Tramp, and I hop in the car with Ghislaine and Jeffrey, and Ghislaine said he's coming back to the house. And I want you to do for him what you do for Epstein. I just couldn't believe it. I couldn't believe that even royalty were involved.
Absolutely repulsive. Holy macadamia nut. Prince Andrew's ex-Lady Victoria celebrated the alleged unalivement of Virginia Giuffre, saying, that karma is coming after you, which is just so scary. And now I want to play for you this. So this is absolutely revelatory. John Bryan, a former crisis advisor to Prince Andrew and stepfather to Andrew's children, talking on hidden camera last year that Prince Andrew was indeed doing every hideous, ghoulish, demonic thing that you can imagine. I'm just going to give you fair warning. This could be graphic if you got young ones or anybody around you that may be family, what have you. Or maybe you're squeamish, you may want to just stop the video or fast forward. I want to give you warning right now, and full credit to James O'Keefe and O'Keefe Media for blowing the top on this lid. Check this out.
Because I was working with the Queen of England.
Okay.
She's Queen Elizabeth. I was working with all the families. Princess Diana was one of my best friends. And I met the Duchess of York.
Okay.
That's Prince Andrew's wife. They were separated. And then Sarah and I sort of fell in love. And we lived together for like 7 years, 6 or 7 years, in my house in England. And I raised their 2 little children. They're so cute.
Wait, her kids?
Beatrice and Eugenie. Those were my children. Those were my kids. I raised those kids.
That's amazing.
Day to day raised. I was father to those kids.
Wait, so you were not friends with Prince Andrew?
Oh, very good. Oh, no, we were very civilized. We'd go have dinner at his house. He'd have dinner at my house to see his kids. So then we go on holiday in the south of France. And I get a big property, like 10 acres, right near Saint-Tropez, right? You know, nobody has 10 acres. I'm on the biggest property, beautiful house. And I rent it so that we have privacy, right? Because the paparazzi are everywhere. There's hundreds of paparazzi, not 10, not 20, hundreds. I know.
And this is already one with Prince Andrew.
Yes, Prince Andrew.
Doing his own thing.
Yeah, he's out in the. He was in the Navy. He was 250 days at sea. He never saw his kid.
Was he already even like involved with like
other girls? I was so pissed about that. I was really pissed. I was really pissed because he lied to me about it.
lied about
Epstein. Yeah. No, I knew he saw him. But he lied to me that he was such a close friend. I was so pissed. And then I did a big thing in the Daily Mail saying that I believed Andrew. And then I found out he was lying. I was so pissed. No, that he was underage girls.
So if we're to take all of this evidence, everything that we've talked about in this video, the only question left is this arrest of Prince Andrew real? Is this accountability finally arriving at last? Or is this just another kind of, let's just give him something, a little performance? We'll arrest him, he'll make bail, and nothing will happen to him. I mean, can you imagine if all of these charges and all this evidence was mounted against just a normal person like you and me? Well, we'd probably never see the light of day again. Is that going to happen to somebody who is a member, top, elite, influential power brokers of the world, the global order? Is one of their own going to actually taste the acidity of justice for once and give everybody else a little bit of peace of mind? I would love to hear from you. I'm going to keep you posted as this story develops. Tap that thumbs up if you love America. It doesn't cost you a thing. You can literally do it. It takes 2 seconds. Don't forget to check out these videos. Here's the huge playlist. Go check out that playlist right there. You can click on that next. Tap my face right here to subscribe and follow. It's absolutely free. And as always, may God bless you and may God bless the USA and all who defend her. I'll see you soon.